ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम
ओम
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो
ओम नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम
ओम
नमो
नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नारायणं
नारायणं
नमस्कृत्य
नमस्कृत्यं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं
नरं
चैव
चैव
नरोत्तमं
नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं
देवीं
सरस्वतीं
सरस्वतीं
व्यासं
व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
ततो
ततो
जयमुदीरयेत्।
जयमुदीरयेत्।
नष्टप्रायस्व भद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु
भद्रेषु
अभद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं
नित्यं
भागवत
भागवत
सेवया
सेवया
भगवति उत्तम श्लोके
भगवते
भगवति
उत्तमश्लोके
उत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी.
भक्तिर्भवति
भक्तिर्भवति
नैष्टिकी।
नैष्टिकी।
Reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, titled Conclusion, the Perfection of Renunciation. And today's verse is verse number 45. Swe swe karmani abhirata
स्वे स्वे
स्वे स्वे
कर्मणि
कर्माणि
अभिरतः
अभिरतः
samsiddhim labhate nara
संसिद्धिं
संसिद्धिं
लभते
लभते
नरः
नरः।
swakarmani rata siddhim
स्वकर्माणि रतः
स्वकर्माणि
सिद्धिं
सिद्धिं
yatha vindati ta shृणु.
यथा
यथा विन्दति
तच्छृणु।
तच्छृणु।
स्वे से कर्माणि अभीरत
स्वे
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 कर्माणि
कर्माणि
अभिरतः
अभिरतः
संसिद्धिं लभते नर
संसिद्धिं
सिद्धिं
लभते
लभते
नरः
नरः।
स्वकर्माणि रतः सिद्धिं
स्वकर्माणि रतः
तथा
सिद्धिं
सिद्धिं
यथा विन्दति ता शृणु.
यथा
यथा
विन्दति
विन्दति
तच्छृणु।
तच्छृणु।
Anyone would like to lead?
स्वे स्वे कर्माणि अभिरतः
स्वे
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 से कर्माणि अभीरत
अभिरतः
संसिद्धिं लभते नरः
संसिद्धिं
संसिद्धिं
लभते
लभते नर
नरः।
स्वकर्मणि रतः सिद्धिं
स्वकर्मानिरतः
स्वकर्माणि रतः
सिद्धिं
सिद्धिं
यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु।
यथा
यथा
विन्दति
विन्दति ता शृणु.
तच्छृणु। स्वे स्वे कर्मणि अभिरतः
स्वे
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 कर्मणि
कर्मणि अभिरत
अभिरतः
संसिद्धिं लभते नरः।
संसिद्धिं
संसिद्धिं
लभते
लभते
नरः
नरः
स्वकर्मनिरता सिद्धिं
स्वकर्माणि
स्वकर्माणि
रतः
रतः
सिद्धिं
सिद्धिं
यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु।
यथा
यथा
विन्दति
विन्दति ता
तच्छृणु।
शृणु. Thank you very much. Word by word meaning. Swe se,
स्वे
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 each his own.
each his
each his
own
own
Karmani, work.
कर्मणि work
Abhiratha, following.
अभिरतः
अभिरता
following
following
Samsiddhim, perfection.
संसिद्धिं
संसिद्धिं
perfection
perfection
Labhate, achieves.
लभते
लभते
achieves
achieves
Nara, a man.
नरः
नरः
a
amen
man
Swakarma,
स्वकर्म
स्वकर्म
in his own duty.
in
in
his
his own
own
duty
duty
Nirata,
निरता
निरतः
engaged.
engaged
engaged
Siddhim, perfection.
सिद्धिं
सिद्धिं
perfection
perfection
Yatha, as.
यथा
यथा
as
as
Vindati, attends.
विन्दति
विन्दति
attains
attains
Tat, that.
तत्
तद्
that
that
Shrunu, listen.
शृणु
शृणु listen
listen
Translation by His Divine Grace Sri
when we
Bhaktivedanta
was
Swami Prabhupada Swami
Srila
Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
By following his qualities
By
By
following his
following his
qualities
qualities
of work,
of
of
work,
work
every man can
every man
every man
can
can
become perfect.
become
become
perfect.
perfect.
Now please hear from me
Now
Now
please hear
please hear
from me
from me
how this can be done.
how
how
this
this
can be
can be
done.
done.
There is no purport. Let's all chant together. Om
Om
Ajnana-timirandasya
Jnanatimirandasya
Jnananjana-Shalakaya
Jnananjalakaya
Chakshurmilitam Tasmai
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं
Shri
येन
Gurave
तस्मै
Namah
श्रीगुरुवे
Sri
नमः
Chaitanya
Sri
Manobhishtam
Chaitanya
Sthapitam Yena
Manobhishtam
स्थापितं येन
Yena
Bhutale
भूतले
Bhutale
Swayam Rupa Kadamaham
रूपकदामह्यं
Dadati
ददाति
Swapadantikam
स्वपदान्तिकम्
Vandeham Shri
वन्देऽहं
Guru Shuddha
श्रीगुरो
Padakamalam Shri Guru
श्रीयुतपदकमलं
Vaishnavanscha
वैष्णवांश
Sri Rupam
श्रीरूपं
Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam
सागरजातमनाथरघुनाथान्वितं
Tam
Sajivam
Sadvaitam
सां
Sadvaitam
सहितं
Savadvaitam
Savadutam
दूतं
Parijana Sahitam Krishna
परिजनासहितं
Chaitanya Devam
कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं
Sri राधा कृष्ण पादान्
पादान्
सगन ललितास्ति
सगनललितास्ति
विशाखापतिंश्च
विशाखान्वितांश
हे
हे
कृष्ण करुणा
कृष्णा
सिन्धु
करुणा सिन्धु
दीनबन्धु
दीनबन्धु
जगत्पते
जगत्पते
गोपेश गोपिका
गोपेश
कान्त
गोपिका
राधा कान्त
राधाकान्त
नमोस्तुते
नमोऽस्तुते
तप्त काञ्चन
काञ्चन
गौराङ्गी राधे
गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे
वृन्दावनेश्वरी
वृन्दावनेश्वरी
वृषभानुसुते देवी
कृपानुसुते देवी
प्रणमामि
प्रणमामि
हरिप्रिये
हरिप्रिये
वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च
कृपा
कृपा
सिन्धुवैव च पतितानां
पतितानां
पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमो
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 नमः
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण
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 हरे हरे
कृष्ण हरे
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 राम
हरे
हरे
राम
राम
हरे
राम
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 राम राम
हरे हरे
हरे हरे
निराचल निवासाय
नासाय
नित्याय
नित्याय
परमात्मने
परमात्मने
बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां
बलभद्रसुभद्राभ्यां
जगन्नाथाय
जगन्नाथाय ते
ते नमो.
नमः.
Thank you so much for joining this wonderful sangha. And last time Krishna in his triplet discussed a lot about what are the qualities of Brahmana, followed by Kshatriya, the next verse, and the last verse, highlighting the quality of Vaishyas and Sudra. So Krishna is gradually uh, and focusfully giving the quality of different attributes of different Varna in this beautiful subject matter of Varnashram. And today, Krishna is going to disclose a very topmost aspect of work and why dignity of labor doesn't matter where you come from. Dignity of labor is all about perfecting the work you do. So, whenever you see the dignity of labor, always think the dignity of labor is not something which is in the Western society. It was actually spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this verse is all about dignity of labor. So what Krishna is saying is Swese Karmani Abhirata. That means by doing his own work, whatever work you end up doing, by doing your own work, Abhirata means Rata means following. Following means without any aberration, any disturbance. And by doing the same work again and again and again, you are perfecting that work. And when you are perfecting that work, you eventually, irrespective of the quality of work you end up doing, if you keep on doing the same work again and again and again, you perfect it beyond comprehension and you become expert and you can receive the Supreme Personality of Godhead, irrespective of where you come from. We'll, this is a very complicated subject matter, but we will discuss it based on some of the Acharya's teachings. So, what Krishna is saying here is by your own karma, if you remain engaged, absorbed, abhirata, rata means absorbed, your own karma, you maintain continuity. And in that continuity, it doesn't matter where you are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Sudra. You are basically doing your own work. And by doing your own work, you become expert in that. So there are two kinds of varnashram. One is asuri varnashram, where people think our inherent mellows or qualities are by virtue of your body. That means you have born with a shudra body, and by doing the work at a bodily level, you transcend from shudra to vaishya, and by doing mercantile work more and more, you gain strength and archery, and then you become like kshatriya, and then by doing more and more kshatriya work, you transcend to brahmana. That is the ashuri brahmashram, varnashram fundamental, where you basically grow from the varna to varna to varna. But actually, in Daivi Varnashram, which is actually what Krishna is saying here, which where Krishna is talking about dignity of labor, saying Krishna is saying, irrespective of your Varna, irrespective of where you are born, you can get elevated. You can get elevated. So that's why the subject matter is very beautiful and very powerful. Krishna has power packed this verse by saying that whether you are Shudra, you can transcend to Brahmana. Whether you are Vaishya, you can transcend to Brahmana. You don't have to go sequentially like the Asuri Varnashram. So that is a very clear distinction. So, as you know, when and the classic example for this verse our acharyas give is is when Gautama Muni was doing his tutelage, and one of the student who came to take lesson from Gautama Rishi is Satyakam Jabali. Satyakam Jabali was a person who wanted to acquire knowledge. At that time, acquisition of knowledge is done by Brahmanas. So Gautama Muni asked Satyakam Javali, who are your parents? And Satyakam Javali was a poor kid. He didn't know. He has never seen his father. He has seen her mother. So he went and asked her mother. Her mother said, I was a maid and I lived in many houses in my childhood. And I don't know who your father is, but you are my son. So his name is Satyakam, but for the first time, somebody's name has the initial of the mother. All of our initials, if you see, is our father's initial. But Satyakam's initial or surname was her mother's, Satyakam Javali. So she says, I was a maid everywhere. I don't know who your father is. So Satyakam Javali came back and told Gautama Muni the same thing, that I don't know who my father is. My mother gave me the initial of Javali, and my name is Satyakam Javali. And Gautama Muni was so impressed that truthfulness is the hallmark of a Brahmana. Even if you are born from whatever Varna, it doesn't matter. But the quality of work, what you bring to the table, is important. And from then on, Satyakam Javali became a disciple of Gautama Rishi. And he went on to do some extraordinary things in his life. And likewise, if you see Jatayu, for example, Jatayu was a bird. Jatayu was not even born as a Shudra. He was born as a bird. And by fighting for Lord Ram, he achieved the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hanuman, for that matter, was a monkey. Just by doing his duty to his Supreme, he achieved the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jambavan was a bear. He attained. Shabari was a low caste woman. But by sincere devotion and doing her job with perfection, she achieved perfection and met the Lord of the universe. And likewise, the classic example given in many different places is Nishad Raj, for example. You know, when Lord Ram left for forest, adjoining Ayodhya was a tribal king, and the name of the king was Nishad Raj. And then Nishad Raj was a tribal king, and he was a friend of Lord Ram in the childhood. And when he knew that Lord Ram is coming, Nishad Raj protected Lord Ram. And then he took Lord Ram to Kevat. Nishad Raj took Lord Ram and Mother Sita, Lakshman to Kevat, and Kevat took him across the river. So Nishad Raj was a lower tribal king. But by sincere devotion, he could attain perfection in life by serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it doesn't matter where you in Devi Varnashram, whatever we end up doing. Our Namacharya Haridas Thakur is born from a Mohammedan family, and our Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami were serving the Muslim king, and they were also given Muslim names, but they left, they fled, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu picked them to go and revive Vrindavan 500 years ago. And the kind of literature they have written is amazing, and that really paves way for all of us to relish the beautiful Vaishnav literature. So it doesn't matter. So swese karmani abhirata samsiddhim labhate nara swakarma nirata siddhim. By just keep doing whatever we are doing. Some of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada told them that you are a gardener. Just become a gardener. And that devotee, over all the ISKCON temples at the time, the beautiful garden our ISKCON temples have, this Western devotee had gone and created gardens because that is the only thing which is told to him by Prabhupada. Some disciples of Srila Prabhupada told them to just become cooks, just cook bhoga for the lordships and prasadam for the devotees. And they just kept on doing that. Just by doing that again and again and again, it's not the job which dignifies the job, is the intensity and perfection by which you keep doing it again and again and again that perfects. So that's the reason why in this country, for all you know, which epitomizes dignity of labor, whether you are a janitor, whether you are a cultivator, whether you are a farmer, it doesn't matter. Just by exhaling again and again and again, we can transcend, which Lord Krishna is saying so beautifully here, that by just following the qualities of the work. See, first you do the job, and by doing the job, Krishna gives us intelligence. So you're basically following the yoga path which Krishna has laid out. First, do your duty, do your job, and you'll find a way to do the job better. That is the Gyan. And karma, Gyan, by keep doing it again and again and again, you transcend. And when you transcend, you go back to Godhead and you become perfect day by day by day by day. So if you take this verse to your heart and try to excel in whatever you are doing, see, if you look at all the CEOs, CIOs of this of the companies, they have actually perfected that little area to such an extent that they have excelled and become perfect, which Krishna is saying. So, so if you can relate this into your life, whatever you end up doing, and you are not basically hurting anybody, you're basically following the principles, and whatever you are doing, whether you're a Shudra, because in this age of Kali, all are Shudras. We are service providers. We work in consulting companies where we are just service providers. We're Shudra by them, but just by keep doing Shudras work again and again and again, we get the funds, maintain our family to become Krishna conscious, or give to wherever we can. We keep doing it. That's the reason why, even if you are a sannyasi, even if you are a brahmachari, even if you are a grihastha, all these paths can lead us to perfection, to go back to Godhead. A sannyasi, by being imperfect, may not be able to go back. But as a grihastha, if you're doing all the right things, you can go back to Godhead. There are plenty of examples we can talk, go on and on about. Is the perfection of life is through by intensifying and putting true effort in the qualities of work. By following the qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Everybody can become perfect. It doesn't matter whether you're born to one family or not. Prahlad Maharaj is a classic example, born to a Rakshasa family. But look at what he did. He became perfect by chanting the holy name and having full devotion and having unalloyed devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, any work you end up doing, don't let it go. Put your intensity, and Krishna is saying you can become perfect in any. It doesn't matter. You have to go sequentially. You can transcend, and you can attain perfection. So, with that, like to end here. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments or questions?
Nice class, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, Prabhuji, yesterday, did you celebrate Gaur Purnima?
I did, Prabhuji, but I couldn't go to temple because schedule was hectic, you know, that
Yeah, the office
weekdays.
was there.
Yeah, today also I was working around till 6 o'clock, you know. So it's no more feels like Friday. But by the mercy of Guru and Goranga, I will tell you, Prabhuji, from the last 2 weeks, I had some good, accidentally, some spiritual enlightenment, Prabhuji. I will give you an example, the last Ekadasi. So, just I was chanting. So, in my door, our ISKCON temple, Prabhuji came who were distributing the books. So, then I told them I'm very happy that, on Ekadasi day, so Vaishnavas came to home. So, I was very happy, and they were very happy also. They said that we were distributing the books, and someone told us that they already have ISKCON books because you have distributed, and they gave us your door number, so we just came to meet you. So on a Ekadasi day, any Vaishnav who comes to home, so it is a very good. Me and my wife, all of us, we were very happy. So it was good. And second, another good thing, Prabhuji, yesterday, it was Grahan, right? Lunar eclipse, right? So I had this desire. So in the daytime, that because they call like during Grahan time, if you chant, it is really good, right? So I was thinking that I will be sleeping. The Grahan time was 1:30 to 4 kind of thing. So, but by Krishna's mercy, I didn't feel good. Suddenly, I woke up, so I had the chance to chant Radha Kripa Kataksha during that time. Nusinga Kavacha also during that time. So I felt good. So that, okay, at least something, some mercy is there.
Very nice, bro. Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing your relations. Thank you, bro. Any other
Hare
comments, bro?
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranamam, Guru Prabhu. Thanks for the nice lecture, Prabhuji. Very well explained verse, Prabhuji. I didn't get this when I was reading. I didn't understand that this way. But Prabhuji, I have a question, Prabhuji, here. This is for discussion. Krishna is telling whatever you are doing, do it with perfection, right? Which this part I understood. What I don't understand is that in the earlier verses, he has told that you do according to the qualities you have attained, right? So if I have not attained those qualities, but I'm trying for perfection, I may not achieve perfection, right? Prabhuji, is this related? Or this verse is by standalone itself that okay, you did not follow your qualities, but you started doing something. Like for example, being a mechanical engineer, we switched to IT and we are doing something, right? The what we studied is different and what we are doing is different. Um, so that is my what is the connection, Prabhuji? Because in the earlier verses he told it differently, right? You follow your qualities and do. Now also he's telling us to follow that quality. So that's what my confusion. Qualities of work. Is it qualities of work or qualities of our constitutional position?
Yeah. So very nice thought, Pro. See, what happens is when we end up doing certain work, right? like say for example, I'll just give a very little example. When I was getting this 40-pound soil bags for the garden to help
Mm-hmm.
my wife,
Mm-hmm.
I was lifting.
Mm.
I was lifting. Then I realized that there is a better way to do it. So I
Mm.
went to Harbor Freight, and with some $8, $9, I got a dolly. And
Right.
that dolly is low, right? So I put a
Mm.
rope on the. So initially, I was bending and trying to put the soil 40-pound bags, like 340, 120-pound bags, and drag
Mm.
it. Then I put a rope to the dolly. So
Mm.
now I'm using the dolly as a chariot to get 120 pounds of soils behind. And now I'm
Mm.
thinking of, now that I cannot bend, I'm thinking of a tiltable. So the point here is, as you end up doing from mechanical to IT, when you
Mm.
do mechanical to IT, if you see most of the SAP implementations, they look for functional skills. So
Correct, Prabhuji.
your skill, which was there, can be augmented. So this is by following the qualities of the work, because Krishna has given you intelligence, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
intelligence is going to dovetail into your work one to become work two. Your quality of deliverable by virtue of the knowledge you have gained will increase. You become perfect. A job which was taking 2 minutes to run with millions of records,
Records.
by
Yeah.
virtue of your going into the CPU, going into the virtual CPU, containerize or whatever it is, you would put knowledge into it, and the same thing will run in 2 seconds. So the point is, by doing more and more, you are putting intelligence, because human beings are uh, are uh, are given intelligence or seeded intelligence through the supreme, and gradually your way of doing things increase, and to that, with the AI ML, your way of delivery has increased significantly, and we are becoming perfect. But that is a mechanical example, but I just want to make a point there.
Yeah, analogy.
Yeah.
But my point is still, Prabhuji, my question is okay, once I have chosen that and I have faith in Krishna and I will practice and keep doing that work again and again. But my initial choice is my means maybe I did not, maybe Prabhuji, maybe I'm a better accountant than a mechanical engineer or a IT person. For example,
Mhm,
Prabhuji.
mhm,
Maybe I did not follow that because at the time I was ignorant of the Bhagavad
mhm.
Gita and I did not follow my inherent. Is
Exactly.
it that? Or is
Yes.
it Krishna has
Yes, it
already
is the
trained me
intelligence.
to
It is the
be a
yes,
Krishna
bro.
has already Krishna has already planned for this for me doing this way. Though I like accounting, maybe you
Mhm,
do mechanical engineering and go to IT and do enterprise resource planning.
mhm,
So my question is that Prabhuji, that uh, he doesn't care. I think what I am interpreting, Prabhuji, I am just talking loud and asking you
mhm,
the confirmation.
mhm,
I think he doesn't care your qualities.
mhm,
He's telling that okay, if you can follow the qualities, follow,
mhm.
right? If you cannot follow, do the best whatever you are doing. I'll help
Yeah,
you. I'll help
exactly.
you.
Exactly. So, Prabhu, say for example, what Pratap Prabhu just mentioned. Pratap
Mhm.
Prabhu joined ISKCON. Before that, in his house, there may have been Vaishnavas who have come to his house on the day of Ekadasi. That
Right.
knowledge, that the auspiciousness of Ekadasi was there after he joined the
Right.
Krishna conscious movement. Then,
Realization. Yeah.
yeah, realization. Then he recognized the importance not of anybody coming to their house on Ekadasi, Vaishnavas coming on Ekadasi. So it's the consciousness which is built. He was serving the guests before also.
Hmm.
Now also he's serving the guest. But
Hmm.
look at what the difference is. The
Right.
difference is the quality of work in terms of the knowledge, and Krishna gives knowledge. So as you end up doing, Krishna will give you knowledge to
Hmm.
excel in that, and by that you will become perfect. And a lot of people undergo this transformation all their life. And see, it's the transformation which is important. It's not where we started. And gradually you'll see that your impression, your consciousness will affect, and you'll do a better job again and again once you keep doing it again and again.
Right, Praveen. So this, I was trying to correlate the earlier verses with this verse, Prabhuji. That's why
Hmm.
I was asking this question, that we
Right.
have to do the quality. See, I may be born as a Brahmana, but I never did I may not have the qualities of a Brahmana, right?
Hmm.
And later I went and did a Kshatriya's job, or a
Hmm.
Vaishya's job, or a Shudra's job, right?
Yeah.
That
But
is by design. Maybe Krishna already planned. See, nothing happens without Krishna's plan, Prabhuji. So this was
mm,
already planned. Though I am born in the Brahmana family, but I'm doing other things because of my
mm,
inherent nature, which is
yeah.
I like to be a Kshatriya work, or a Shudra work, or a Vaishya work, whatever that is. Uh, that is basically making me do my
Yeah.
inherent quality.
Yeah. So Satyakam Javali, the example we took,
Mm-hmm.
was born to a maid.
Correct.
But what caught Gautama Rishi's attention is Satyakam
Sincerity.
Javali's truthfulness, which is an essential quality of a Brahmana.
Mm-hmm.
And Brahmanas, when people attack, Brahmana may bow their head, but the quality of Kshatriya is they will get killed, but they will not bow their head. So if
Right.
so, so it is the quality which you have. If you perfect it, if you sharpen it, whether it is a Brahmana or Kshatriya, you can all go back to Godhead. So it's a transcending message from Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is saying, by doing any job you do, by perfecting, by doing again and again and again,
Mm.
you will become perfect.
Right.
It's a
Well
very
said.
it's a very very astounding verse in a way, because
Mm.
this is not really apparent, and many people have
Mm.
not, many times,
Mm.
as there's no purport by Bhagavad, many people may not have discussed this
Mm.
largely. But what I think, when I read some of the Acharya's message in this, I feel this is a very, when we talk about
It's a
dignity of labor,
self-explanatory verse, Prabhuji. That's why
exactly,
Prabhupada didn't write the.
exactly, that's also true. And
Mm.
dignity of labor is another thing. See, in India, if you are a janitor, it is not looked upon. But here,
Correct.
the dignity of labor is such that no job is bad. And
Mm.
that is exactly exemplified not by Western society, but by Krishna himself in this. No job is bad. Even if you are a Shudra, by doing, by extending the quality of a Shudra, you can come back to me as well. Like Jatayu,
Mm.
like Jambavan, like Hanuman, and so on and so forth.
Right. So Krishna is trying to tell that even if your quality might be something else, you got astrayed from that quality, but still do whatever you are currently doing.
Right,
Right, Prabhuji?
right, right. So there's the kind of work, kind of service, La Prabhupada expected from others were very, sometimes Prabhupada has said, is can be menial, but
Mm.
by just doing menial service, you can perfect. The perfection of
Mm.
life is through keep doing the menial service. And New Vrindavan, there are so many people who just are gazing cows in those areas for Srila Prabhupada 30 years, 40 years, 50 years down the line. They took it to that service
Mm.
and they're serving.
So this tells then, Prabhuji, that because I have this, like, for example, Prabhuji, my mentality is more Shudra to do service, Prabhuji, right?
Mhm.
Even in the temple affairs, like I may not be a Kshatriya, um, I may not be leading a program or a effort or a right.
Mm.
So this verse definitely, and the way you explained, confirms that whatever we are doing, if we do it very sincerely, because
Mm.
I think that sometimes I feel guilty that, maybe I should do more, but I'm trying to do whatever is easier for me to do, right?
Mhm.
Maybe I have to do much more to propagate the Krishna consciousness, right, Prabhuji?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so, but whatever we are doing, this verse is telling that whatever we are doing, do it perfectly. It doesn't
Mm.
matter. As you told, there is no dignity here. There is no
No,
relativity here, basically.
no. You might have seen
Prabhupada,
that devotee, right, from New York, who distributes books. I mean, this Ganesh festival in Woodbridge, I saw him.
yeah.
He's there everywhere. He has taken that book service to. He basically sold me $51 this much book. I just seeing his sincerity, I also gave $51 and bought the book. That book, the gift book, is still lying there. He was there in Ganesh festival this year. You know who I mean, right? I don't know his name.
I
But the
I
don't.
point is,
So.
he has
think I met
taken
him.
it seriously.
Mm.
Prabhuji, one thing is that if you hear Srila Prabhupada's lectures, not in one occasion, many occasions he said, in Kali Yuga there are no Brahmins, everyone is Shudra.
Right.
So he categorically said there is no Brahman, only Sudras. Even he gave the example. He said that when in Vrindavan we build the temple, ISKCON temple, we invited Brahmins to chant that Karmakandi sloka only because to satisfy the people of Vraj.
Mhm.
Otherwise, there was no need. Only chanting Hare Krishna is required. But we did it just to please the
Mm.
people there. But there is no need for that. And he very seriously, very categorically said there is no Brahman in Kali Yuga, only
Mhm.
Sudras. Because try to understand, if you cross the sea, then that Brahman is gone.
Mhm.
In temple, if you are versing, you are expecting material benefit that someone will give, that Brahman is gone.
Mhm.
So even as per the Shastras, means the Brahman will who will do the services, and
Mhm.
the karmis like Vaisyas, they will give the donation to the Brahman
Mhm.
without the Brahmans being expecting, and without being a Vaisya, being miser. I mean, it's not like that. Okay, I should save the money, but I should give the money to Brahmins. But that everything has been that has been broken, right? In Kali Yuga, if you call someone Vaisya, they earn money, they don't want to give it to charity, they don't want to give it to Brahman. And you would have seen that. And the Brahmans also within the temple, you think about any temple, they for their family, maintenance, they go outside the temple to do the puja at home.
Mhm.
So those are the examples. So
Mhm.
everyone became Sudra kind of thing.
Yeah. So this is one sloka. 3 4 days back, I had the opportunity to present in the morning Srimad Bhagavatam class 6:30 to 7. So the context here is Daksha is seeing Lord Shiva seated when he enters the sacrificial assembly, and he becomes angry and he curses Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva sadly leaves. Then Nandishwar, one of the primary disciples of Lord Shiva, curses the Brahmanas present in the assembly that they did not raise any concern. And what he's saying? These Brahmanas take to education, austerity, and vows only for the purpose of maintaining the body. They shall be devoid of discrimination between what to eat and what not to eat. They will acquire money begging from door to door simply for the satisfaction of the body. Nandeshwar is counter cursing the Brahmanas who were in the assembly of Daksha, when Daksha was hurling abuse to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva sadly left, but Brahmanas did not open their mouth. Nandeshwar is cursing that Brahmanas in Kali Yuga is going to be like this, what you just said, you know.
Yes.
So, so it is documented that, we are living in a society where the situation is low, and when the quality has gone down, the first class is not 60% anymore, the first class is 40%. So in this
Exactly.
age of Kali, when uttering hymns is difficult, chanting the holy name is the best, as you mentioned.
Yes. On the power is in the holy name, chanting of the name. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, the same verse, the same chapter that you mentioned just right now, you were showing. The one of the best part is that in that chapter where Prabhupada mentions that, so in that chaotic situation where the fighting happens, everyone curses each other, and Lord Shiva being offended, he didn't actually took it on his own, but the Prabhupada explains that beautifully. He says that, look, so many things happen. The only person who is not present out there is Vishnu, because everything has been destroyed. Those things never happen in the presence of Lord Vishnu. So you will see that in all the characters. So whatever happened, so Vishnu was not there. Means Krishna was not there. So that's
Yeah.
the best part
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. So in that assembly, right, Prabhu?
Exactly.
First,
Yes.
Daksha curses, then Nandishwar, the
Yes.
disciple of curses, then Bhrigu Muni counter curses. So that's a
Exactly.
cursing season.
True.
So that's why my Guru Maharaj says that never, even if you're angry, never ever curse anybody,
Yeah.
because it's it's a very difficult situation, and curse is a thing which happens because Krishna listens to the devotees, and your curse can be listened, and that's the reason why. So that is a beautiful fourth canto highlight. We also, but going back to the main thing, that we should keep doing whatever we're doing, and let's perfect it. Okay. Any other comments and reflections? So those who joined late, we talked about Krishna saying that irrespective of where you are, if you keep doing the work by putting quality and perfecting it, you'll achieve the supreme. You don't have to go from Shudra to Vaishya, Vaishya to Kshatriya, Kshatriya to Brahmana to transcend. You can become Shudra, our Dasya Bauri, who is a disciple of who is a devotee of Lord Jagannath, is born to a low caste. His imprint is there in our temple, in one of the pillars where he's offering coconut, and many such wonderful
Haridas
person.
Thakur, for example.
Haridas Thakur was a Mohammedan, so it doesn't matter. You can excel based irrespective of where you are. That's a very beautiful verse Krishna has spoken, and Srila Prabhupada has also translated it beautifully.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All good.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, sorry, Prabhuji, I joined late little bit. Is it like a recording of the class is there, Prabhuji? Any link you can share? I will go through it maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is just it's just for it's yeah. I'll share. Bro. I didn't after I'll basically download everything from Zoom after 4 5 sessions and just upload it once. Yeah, I'll share later, bro. Definitely.
Yeah, and I was listening one of the class from His Grace Hari Prasad, Hari Parsad Prabhu.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his lectures also have recently started, hearing. I mean, he's very, very powerful lectures. He's actually, I didn't know about him. Like, I know, like, in our temple channel, he used to come previously 1 or 2 times. But I was recently hearing his Sikhyashtam classes. I mean, in one verse only, he is going through around 20 classes, Prabhuji. Okay. He had lot of, he's collecting lot of things from different, scriptures, and he's presenting Prabhuji. Very, very,
Yes,
very
yes.
excellent. Okay.
Yeah. He's very knowledgeable, and his grasp over Sanskrit is just amazing, and he is a very powerful preacher. He lives in Mumbai, and he gives very good sought after classes. He has come to our temple before as well. So next time when he
Recently,
comes,
Prabhuji, he was telling that, how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how he is merciful. Okay. Because the essence of Bhagavad Gita is that, right? The Lord Krishna is saying that Sarva Dharman Parityaya, right? Like, it's kind of a conditional, okay, right? Because in Kali Yuga is very difficult to surrender, Prabhuji. Okay. Then only, I mean, Krishna has lot of things, right? He will see like how the devotee is doing, right? Like, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu even doesn't want to surrender also. Okay. Once you simply chant Hare Krishna, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accept it. Okay. I mean, because he's in Radharani mood, right? So Radharani doesn't care what sin you did in past, right? He simply says, right, if you was just chant Hare Krishna, he will accept it, okay? So that's the very, very merciful of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was explaining like, uh,
Absolutely, absolutely. Mahaprabhu's mood, even if we are just 0.01%, we will relish like anything. The current, the ecstasy, the realization, the consciousness. Yeah. Hope you celebrated yesterday's Gaur Purnima nicely.
yes, Prabhuji, I came there and also I was part of the Diksha vow. I mean, I already took last year also, but I took this same vow this year also.
Mhm.
Until unless I
You filled up the
initiated,
form and
yeah.
yeah, and yeah, very nice, very nice. I was there briefly, but anyone from our Bhakti Vriksha was there. I was please. That's why I sent the link. Hope you all should. The vows are really like catalysts. It's like every year. These are all going to energize us. So that's why I sent it in the WhatsApp group. Hope you formed the form and got the certificate, took the vows. That's very
So
good.
Prabhuji, until we initiate, we have to take vows every year, right?
It is definitely recommended. It is definitely recommended too. And just so you know, Haldar Maharaj is coming to our temple as well.
Oh, when, Prabhuji?
He is coming in the month of May.
Oh, okay. So tomorrow Amrinder Prabhu is coming, right? And
Mm.
April, I think March and Lal Govindas Prabhuji is coming.
Yeah, the next weekend.
Yeah.
Mm.
Then maybe next month he's coming.
May month, Haldar Maharaj is coming.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And as I told you, Prabhuji, I'm traveling August 29 to India again one more time.
Very
So
nice.
this time we are planning for because I never been to Mayapur.
Mm.
So this time I booked the ticket in such a way so I will land in Calcutta.
Mm.
So I will visit Mayapur, then I will go to Odisha.
Mm.
So there I will spend 2-3 days. So also I'm planning to go to Khiruchara Gopinath. I've been Odisha, but I never been to that temple. Okay, like
Mhm.
there's a pastime, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Have you been there, Prabhuji?
Yes, many times, bro.
Oh, okay.
In my childhood, I used to go by cycle from Balasur to Ramuna.
Oh, okay, okay,
We'll talk about it some other time.
okay.
But it's like 10 kilometers as childhood. One of few friends of ours will just go there, and I have some very pleasant memories of Ramuna, Kiruchara Gopinath.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Do they serve prasadam, Prabhuji? Kshira there?
Yes, yes, bro. Kira, that those so tasty.
Yeah, I would
You
then
all
go
can,
every day,
yeah.
Prabhuji.
You all should go there. Beautiful pastime. Lord can steal for his devotees'
Hmm.
pleasure and honor. Oh, this is this is just out of the world. Madhavendra Puri's, you know, ecstatic pastime.
So,
Hmm.
Prabhuji, this khira is only giving during lunchtime, so some specific time or any time that
I mean,
we.
in the morning there are multiple servings on the side of the temple. But often that is a Vaishnava temple. They close in the afternoon. So a lot of times in the morning, in the morning, in the Pratabhog, few release of kira happens, of offerings happen, and they sell it behind and the temple within the temple, but behind the Gopinath's area.
But that is not taken by ISKCON. That is independently run by some other Vaishnava community,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
it's not a ISKCON temple. This is the temple which has been there even before Mahaprabhu's time. It's like 600, 700 years ago.
Hmm.
And another beautiful, there is a lot of history also with the Vaishnavism, where Mahaprabhu gave after Mahaprabhu, there was a time when there was a bit of apasapradaya, and how some of the disciples of, the disciples or grand disciples of Mahaprabhu, um, I think, was it Rasikananda Prabhu? They are so powerful, they could tame a elephant, and there are some very beautiful pastimes. We'll just go over it to glorify some of the uh, grand disciples of Mahaprabhu, as to how they could protect Vaishnavism over Apasampradaya in the 17th odd century. Mahaprabhu came in the 15th, right? Because Mahaprabhu's process was very, strict regulation, chanting. So a lot of people didn't want to follow that. They're sahajiyas, they want to take it easy. So how Lord Krishna's supremacy was, countered, and how some of the grand disciples of Mahaprabhu came up and preached, and some heroic Vaishnavism histories over there in that area, in that belt, and also in Rajmundry as well with Ramananda Rai and his disciples. So wherever Vaishnavism has been preached, there has been counter resistance, right? You all know that. So, and how they uphold the Vaishnavism is amazing. I mean, it is there everywhere. Ramanujacharya, Madhavacharya, they all had resistance. If you look at their lives, there has been challenges, right? Because they were big, big acharyas. Any acharya for that matter. Srila Prabhupada, founder acharya of ISKCON, so many difficulties. And those difficulties makes them heroes, right? How they countered it, and you know, heroism is through how they stood for the protection of Vaishnavism, right? And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and so many heroes, right? So in that belt, right, Prabhu, there was a bit of a Sampradaya, and how Rasikananda Prabhu. And so the reason why I say that with Ramuna is Rasikananda Prabhu's picture is imprinted inside the temple. And then you can go and ask, there is a whole story about Rasikananda Prabhu. So many nice pastimes around that, And if you should take a guide, if you go with a guide, you'll relish Ramuna better. If you should go in a yatra, that's what I mean. Like with a group of like 10 devotees. If you go, you'll learn a lot. Okay, bro?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Some,
Yeah, thanks.
Sometimes Madhupati Prabhu goes with a group of devotees, like 10 people. They will get down at Calcutta, take a car or matador, go all the way from there to Remuna, to Bhadrak, to Puri, and then come back to Bhubaneswar, fly to Vrindavan. So if when you go with a group, you will learn a lot. Okay, bro. So let's end today's. Any other question or comments or reflections? So let's offer obeisance at the lotus feet of all Vaishnavas by saying Vancha Kalpataru Sindhu Vaivach Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namo
Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namo.
Vaishnavrinda ki jai
Ki Jai,
Raj Bhagavad Gita ki
Ki
jai
Jai,
Srila Prabhupada ki
Pad
jai
Ki Jai.
Gaur Premanande
Hem Jagannath Ki